am a baby. For those of you that don't know, it means I am a fan of the Korean boy group B.A.P. I just came back from Atlanta, Georgia. It was the last stop of the American part of their Awake tour for 2016. And I wanted to share a fan account to tell everybody how amazing it was, including the ups and the downs. So, right off the bat, my friend was the one that drove us there, and it was about a 6 hour drive to get to Atlanta. And we stayed with a friend of ours that we went with to 2014 LOE Chicago. Now, in Chicago, I got a high touch, as well as my other two friends. While that concert was amazing, this one blew it out the water by far. When we get down there, we get to her house. We wait for her inside because she and a few other friends went to go greet the boys at the airport. Only Jungkook and Zello showed up initially because the boys got separated on their flights. They looked a little confused because they weren't screaming, they weren't yelling, they weren't following them. But that's because our friends are calm. She comes back, my best friend arrives, and there are about 9 of us in this house, 10 if you count my friend's fiance. So we sit down there and we are watching K-pop videos, old ones, new ones, cringing, laughing, joking, talking about our biases, typical fan stuff. We stay up till like 4 in the morning. Then we finally go to bed. The next day is the concert. So 2 of my friends get up, they get dressed, and they head to the venue at the Cobb Arts Center. And they get there around 12:30, while me, my best friend, and the rest of us get dressed up, put on makeup, decide to look pretty for the concert, because who doesn't want to do that, right? So when we leave, we arrive to the concert around 1:30, 2 o'clock. We get there and we get in line. There's only 15 people ahead of us to the doors that lead inside. Now, the venue wasn't letting anybody in, so if we had to go to the bathroom or we had to get food or cash, we had to walk up the street a couple blocks to get to any of that. So while we're sitting in line, we meet online friends, other fans. We're talking, joking, laughing, talking about all these groups and our biases. There's a group selling little goodie bags with photo cards and wristbands in there. Our friends are part of B.A.P. Yes Sir, so they have like little lanyards with photocopied pictures, and they're like laminated. So it was really, really nice because everybody was so cool. So around 5 o'clock, a staff member comes out and says, "Hey, if you have pre-order, please get in line." Now, pre-order means you went online and you ordered an album, which was the Carnival mini album ahead of time, or merchandise. The thing about being in the United States is we aren't guaranteed high touch. We actually have to buy the albums and see if we get one out of the 200 high touch passes. And it's a 50-50 chance. So you either have a 50% chance of buying the pre-order and getting one, or going inside and buying one cash only. I got in line with my friends, showed them my ID, they brought me my albums. Now the thing about these albums is that they are signed. They have signatures, they have little stands, and they have a random photo card in there of one of the members. And so when I went in my bag, the first one I pulled out was this one. This signature means Youngjae signed it. And if you flip it inside, like I said before, you'll have the little cutout stand, and you will also have a random photo card. It's Youngjae and the stand's Him Chan, so it doesn't match. I flip it over, nothing. But when I go back into my bag, I pull out my album signed by Him Chan. I go inside, look at it, look at the stand, I flip it over, and I see this. This yellow sticker means I got the high touch. So did my friend. And she bought 4 albums. We freak out, we scream, we're so excited. We're like, yes, we're going to meet the boys. And we're told the high touch will be after the show. So we get back in line, we're talking to our friends, saying how excited we are. And a couple of our friends didn't get one. So we sit in line and we wait with our friends because they didn't pre-order. So around 7 o'clock, they have us line up. We single file lines, and some of the fans have balloons that were blown up for the boys. So the man says you can't have those. So when we get to the front, he's popping some people's balloons. They look at our tickets when we get in and tell us to go through either portal A, B, C, or D. So I go in, I plug in my phone so I can charge a little bit before the concert. My best friend goes to buy an album. 5 seconds later, she comes screaming back. She got a high touch. We hug, we jump, we scream. We're like, yes, can't believe this. So I head over to my portal. I got portal D, and my friends got portal C and B. I go in, and because we bought our tickets at different times, I got separated from my friends. They're in center orchestra while I'm in left, but it's okay. Now, while I was outside, a girl was so sweet to me. She swapped my ticket. I was in the Y row for left orchestra. She gave me her ticket, and it was for the G row. So I knew a girl that was sitting in mezzanine. I gave her my left orchestra ticket because I had a different one. When I got in there, my seat was the second row from like the big walkway. You could see everything in there regardless of where you sat. The venue was so nice. So the one problem was that there were a lot of empty spaces because people who bought tickets couldn't show up. So when some of us wanted to move up to be closer to friends or get a better view, some of the staff were so anal and rude about it. Like, even people that were in the same row that just switched real quick because they wanted to be closer to siblings, family, or friends, they went over and told them they had to move back, and one girl was separated from her sister. I honestly, that was not necessary. I honestly thought with a venue like that, they'd tell us to move forward and fill in seats. But I digress because I had a nice seat. So 8 o'clock on the dot, the show starts. The boys come out doing Warrior. You see the light sticks going. You hear the whistles. You see the cameras. It was amazing. So throughout the show, Zello got a solo stage and he danced. At some point, he humped the floor. No, no, he's a child. You stop that. You go stand in the corner and think about what you did. Him-chan got a solo stage and sang SNS, and it was amazing. He's just so sexy, and he was on his grown man. I was like, yes, you better do it. Jungkook also got a solo stage, and his vocals have improved drastically since when they first debuted, and it almost brought a tear to my eye how well he was doing. So throughout the performances, Zello comes down to this big walkway between the front row and the orchestra seats. And he's walking, and it takes a moment for us to notice that he's there. So he comes through a second time, and he's jogging because we notice him this time. We're going after him. And one girl gets too close, and one of the staff ladies yanks her back. At another point, Young Jae comes through the same area and is model strutting, and I'm just like, you need to stop. So also during the show, there are like these little balcony-like seats by like the front area. Him-chan goes over and sits on the one diagonal from the left orchestra. While I don't have a video, the girl next to me had a GoPro camera. She's filming him. We're waving at him. He waves back to us, and we just start screaming. Zello also sat there, and then there was another one on the other side that they went to. We enjoyed the song so much, and then at some point the boys had a break and started talking to us, saying they loved Atlanta. This was so cool. They were having fun. So at some point they start talking again, and they're like, "Oh, this is our last song." And you hear everybody go, "Aww." So they start wrapping up, and Daehyun goes, "Stop, stop, stop!" And he does his little pose that he does when he's hitting a high note. He asks us, "Do you want one more song?" "Yeah, we do." So they give us an encore. So throughout this concert, they did songs from the Badman album, Carnival, and Matrix, and a lot of them had rock and roll remixes. In the encore, they did Bang Times 2 again. Jungkook took off his shirt, and in his video on Instagram, you can see 3 of my friends in the front, and he's just rocking out and rolling his body, and I'm just like, yes, yes, because he's my bias, and my mind was blown. So when the show ended at around like 10:30, 10:45, I run out because I don't know where the high touch is going to be, and I want to find and meet up with my friends. One of my friends who didn't get it, I walked her and said, "Hey, do you know where they're having a high touch?" She said, "They just mentioned it. Go back inside." So I go inside, I run down, spot my 2 friends, and I'm like, "Oh, you're here." I sit next to them, and they're telling everybody, "If you don't have a Yellow Star on your album, please wait outside." Everybody that does moves to the really forward seats, and we're sitting there, we're eager, we're nervous. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, we're gonna meet the boys at B.A.P. Oh my god." We get up, they line us up, we're about to leave. one of the girls in front of me gets really sick, and I start backing up because she's about to throw up. One of the medics comes over and helps her. We go outside, we line up all the way up the stairs, like the third floor, and we start coming down. And I'm towards the end. Now, I know they don't allow cameras or anything for high touch, which I wish they did. So I was trying to, maneuver my phone so I might be able to catch a little something. But when we went in, one of them noticed my phone. Now, I tried to fake it, but my phone wound up slipping, so you can't see anything, but you can hear everything I'm saying. I go through the line, I high five Zello, I high five Jungkook, I high five Youngjae and Daehyun, tell them thank you. I get to Jungkook, I high five him and say, I love you. He winks at me. I died for like a split second. I get to Himchan and he's chilling on the table, like leaning like paint me like one of your French girls lean. I high five him and tell him I love you more. And he does this little deep chuckle and my soul left my body. Here's the bad part. When I left out, I was walking with my friends. We were 10 feet away from the door, maybe 15 feet, and everything starts to go dark around the edges of my vision. Now, for those of you that don't know, that means you're either about to pass out or you're about to faint. And it was just a little kind of funny to me because as I was going down, I heard the opening instrumental to Block B's Toy. Everything went dark, spun upwards, and I fainted. The last thing I hear are screams from other fans and my friends calling for help. The bad thing about this venue was that nobody was prepared for any incidents. They did not think through about any of the worst case scenarios. The staff was standing there while my friends were trying to get help. They weren't doing anything. So they finally get a medic. They finally get a staff member's attention. The medic comes over, I'm out. I finally come to and I'm hyperventilating because it feels like I can't breathe. When I fainted, it felt like I was drowning. Everything sounded like it was in water and I felt like I couldn't breathe. So the medic is helping me, telling me to take deep breaths. I'm trying to give them my information. My friends are giving them everything they need. So I never got a chance to thank the man. He was an older white man. I did not catch his name. I really wanted to thank him because he was so helpful and he made sure I was okay. He was the main one ensuring that I did not fall back down. One of my friends, Izzy, it was her birthday, so the boys told her happy birthday, but when she came out of the line, she saw I was down. She ran around to the concession stand to see if she could get water for me, but the concession stand was closed and there were no vending machines. So as she's running through, one of the staff members for the boys comes off stage. She says, "Do you have any water? My friend's fainted. I need water for her." He has a bottle and he looks a little hesitant. He says, "Yeah, I have this, but one of the boys drank off of it. Is that okay?" She says, "Yes, I just need the water." He hands it to her and tells her, "Don't worry, Jungkook doesn't have anything." So she comes back to me, she gives me the water, I drink it down, I cough a little bit. They get me outside, I sit down on the sidewalk to regain my strength, snap out of it. We're good to go. So we get in the car about to go get food, and she's like, "Okay, here's what I need to tell you. I didn't want to tell you right away because I was scared you'd faint again, but the bottle you drank off of was the one Jungkook was drinking from on stage." I feel my blood pressure go back up and my eyes start to roll. I'm like, oh my god, but I come back down. So not only did I get to see B.A.P in Atlanta, did I make new friends and meet lots of people, including my online friends, I got a high touch and got to meet these boys again. And then I drank off of the same water bottle my bias was using. This tour was indescribable. I can't say how happy I am that I got to see B.A.P again. I can't express the joy that I feel because had it not been for B.A.P, I wouldn't have met one of my best friends. I only met her and got to go to LOE Chicago and the Awake tour in Atlanta because I was at a race with their hoodie on and a big gold Matoki and B.A.P written on the back. That is how our friendship started. So this was beyond, beyond extraordinary. And I honestly want the boys to come back to Atlanta. I really do. Now, I do hope that maybe they'll do tickets through somebody different, kind of like Subculture maybe. So that way We in the United States will be able to buy packages for like co-ops and meet and greets like the fans of every other place in the world get to do, because sometimes we feel a little left out. But aside that, I can't complain. It was so much fun. And I wish the boys nothing but the best health, best performances, and that they get to meet more amazing fans and their next stop in Mexico, and that they don't stop being amazing. Because when it boils down to it, these six boys and their music honestly live up to their name. They are the best, they are absolute, and indeed, they are perfect.